Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the Sustainability Track here on African Renaissance TV with me, Mohamed Dibaji. Today's episode is a special one wherein we're going to discuss the circular flow. This would be a new intervention that we really going to look into. And to form a conversation around this, I have a special guest that will help us discuss the nitty-gritties of the circular flow economy, what it means, what impact it has in the Gambia, and then who are responsible for the circular flow economy in the Gambia and translating this at the continental level. My guest in the house is someone who does not need an introduction, but for the sake of formalities, I would allow her to take some few minutes or seconds rather to introduce herself, and then thereafter we have a conversation around this topic.
Okay, thank you for that. Hello, my name is Georgia Saho. I work with Waste Aid and also a university student, technically final year. But yeah.
Giorgio Saho, welcome and thank you for accepting our invitation to come on to the sustainability track.
Thank you
And
for having me.
we are really grateful to Waste Aid for allowing you to come here and then represent them.
Yeah.
Coming from Waste Aid, Giorgio, this is something that we really want to kickstart the conversation through. Why do we have Waste Aid in the Gambia?
Waste Aid works with different communities. These are middle class communities and they are low income communities to implement waste management strategies and recycling programs. So we have Waste Aid in different countries, of course, but specifically here in the Gambia, what we focus on is having partnerships, having collaborations, making sure that people know of our efforts, what we can do. Because there's a lot of waste in the country, and I feel like we could do so much with this, but we probably don't have the knowledge or the technical systems or the finances or the resources. So we are here as a drive. Waste Aid is helping to drive the circular economy within the Gambia already. So to be part of the Waste Aid is like having that forum where your voices can be heard. We have networking events. The networking events are my favorite because you get to meet different people, you get to connect. Example, I work in the hotel industry and there's a lot of plastic bottles left after events and programs, celebration. And let's say we have a woman called Fatu, she sells wonder juice. Why can't they collaborate? Why can't be like, okay, I can take it from you and then I can sell it, make my wonder with it. Or let's say I am into plastic recycling, I can turn it into regrinds and turn that into slab pavement tiles. So this is all something that we can do. We have competitions. I think competitions drive the people to be more interested in what we're doing because that it shows creativity, it shows innovation, and you see people with different ideas. These are youths that are very, very determined, and we give them that platform. We also have waste management experts. These are industrial experts that our people or our members can learn from. So it's a good way to network. Waste Aid has been in the Gambia since 2015. Currently, we have a project with the UK Chartered Institute of Waste Management. So CIWM is funding our current project. It's an 18-month project, but we are at the final stages right now. So CIWM has done something tremendously great, actually a great, generous
That's a
offer.
generous
Yeah,
thing.
because we have a website called the CIWM Connect. Within the website, we have about 6,000 waste management practitioners and professionals. So when you go in there, like maybe someone in UK or Scotland or things like that, they have to pay a certain amount every month. But in the Gambia, it is free.
Wow,
So if you
okay.
have, yeah, it's quite interesting because the last time a guy was like, I'm having issues with composting. How do I do it? And you see all of the members were like, use this, there's a link, there's an article. And I'm here in the forefront in Gambia. I'll be like, okay, I can connect you to an organization that does composting. So these are benefits that you can gain from.
It's like one of the needed exposure that youths have been calling for. And
Yes.
it's like, and you are not just concentrating on just one angle. This is like concerted effort all over the economy as far as development is concerned, as far as sustainability is concerned.
Yeah.
From the waste management to transitioning into recycling and all that. And this is going to be interesting
Yeah.
because when you look at waste generally, it's one of the, like someone's waste can be another person's material. And I think this is what West Aid is really doing, and then connecting people, giving opportunities to those that don't really have that, and then this exposure that the locals are going to have with the internationals, and then those experts that are out there in the industry is an important avenue. But you talked about the circular economy
Yeah.
here as part of this is a very important angle as far as waste aid is concerned.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the circular economy?
Well, before we talk about a circular economy, I think we need to understand something first. We have a linear economy. So, in the linear economy, it's more of a take, make, and dispose. So, when we take, we're exploiting our resources. These are natural resources. We're harming the environment. There's degradation. There's loss of water scarcity. There's problems and things like that. So, when we make, that is the mass production that we make. We are providing or making things faster than we can even use them. So it's a big issue. Then, after you have this mass production that we cannot consume all, what happens to it? It gets disposed back to the environment and it creates chaos. So, what a circular economy design is bringing forth is reduce how much we use. Reuse the things that we have and then recycle it or upcycle it. So, in the circular economy, we promote or we help people to understand the benefits of what a more circular design or an approach will look like, which is why we have trainings. And within these trainings, it helps people to come and say, okay, I have so many, for example, a woman, she is into the food processing business. She says she makes a lot of baobab. She deals with a lot of baobab products. Let's say that she turns it into naan food and guinea job and things like that. So she told me that, well, there's a lot of excess seeds, baobab
Of Baba
seeds.
seeds, okay.
What do I do with it? And I'm like, yeah, this is a great question. What do you do with your baobab seeds? So it gives you that forum to question how you use your products. What are the ways that you can improvise and utilize your resources? Because these baobab seeds could be turned into oil. It is quite fantastic with what we can do with the certain things that we claim to be waste.
Waste.
And that baobab can also be regenerated back into the environment. You can plant it again and it grows. But a lot of people will be like, no, baobab tree is too big. I don't want it.
I don't want to,
And
but
I'm
you will
like,
use the product of it.
exactly, and I like it. So a circular economy approach is vital and quite needed because it just doesn't show environmental sustainability. It shows how conscious we are of the environment. It shows that we have empathy. We are generous with nature. And I think if man works or coexist well with nature, it could really help us. It's more of an integration that we're talking about. That is why we're promoting a circular economy.
That is important. With the objectives and then how a circular economy operates, I think when we look ahead into the future, the next generation would not have bigger questions for us.
Yeah.
I think that is one of the ways that to answer, because if our actions today are not able to give the next generation that ability to do whatever they also want, I mean, in terms of the environment,
Yeah.
we would be held responsible.
We'll be
We
accountable.
will be held
of course.
accountable for
Yeah.
that. So those are important things. So we really definitely need to be conscious of our environment. But I want to come to the local spheres here in the Gambia.
Yeah.
Is there a need for the Gambia to rethink its product design
Yeah.
for a circular economy?
Product design is very important because at most time when companies, institutions, or even a country at large would be questioned about their product design, they'd be like, well, it is quite expensive. It is quite hard. It means or needs a lot of changes.
And it takes time.
And it takes time. And these are the changes we need. We need to, transition to something more, to a greener economy, to greener solutions. Because I look at the Gambia, people are like, oh, it's so hot. So this and that. It's Ramadan and I feel it. But do you know that the ones that have the solar panels, they're very happy. They are the most ecstatic when they see the sun. Why can't we harvest the sun's energy, turn it into electricity? Why is it not something that we invest in? Why don't we invest in making manures and fertilizer and stop the dependency from imported fertilizers abroad? Why are we thinking of changes? These are some of the things that we need to talk about. These are discussions that we need. And a product design is a must. It is vital. Because I'm thinking maybe in the next 5, 10 years, let's say a project should come and they'll be like, well, you can't have it because you haven't changed. Your company hasn't changed. What will you do? So it is now time. This is the action moment. This is the time that you have to think ahead in order to transition. So it is quite important.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Because I asked this because when you look at the circular economy, I mean the importance that it has on a society. Looking at this in the Gambia, we have like a lot of environmentalists now, but I think in reality we should all become one
Yeah.
in our actions, in our way of thinking, in our conduct. We should be one because we have that link with the environment that is so important. So unless we start as stakeholders taking these things seriously, and then like you said, making caterings for the future, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, for the next 20 years, what do we need to do? Those are important. But if someone were to ask of the importance, some of the key importance of a circular economy, what would those be?
Well, first, to the layman, the first thing they want to hear is it produces money in your pocket. So you
Okay.
get money.
Then that's not
So it promotes economic growth.
growth.
At the
Okay.
same time, it promotes innovation and creativity. Because I was at the trade fair 2 years ago, and there was an upcycling contest. And there I was wowed because I saw different, innovations. These Gambians, youths, very motivational, very smart, talented people. And I saw one who turned, tires into seats, into furniture. It was beautiful. And I was like, wow, this is something that we can invest in because we have so many tires. What are we doing with it? And then some even hang the tires on trees and it's like swings. Kids play with it. This is something that we can, promote. And there's also the paper turning it into mosaic. There are so many
So many
things we
different
can
creativity
do.
and
Yeah,
innovations.
people took CD disc that we used to have and turned it into picture frames, and it was so beautiful
Wow.
because it was like different shades. It was like illuminating, and I was like, this is quite essential. So it doesn't just put economic growth in yourself or in your business. It promotes creativity. It promotes innovation, and also it's a great market. We have so much resources that we can tap, not just beneath our soil. There's a lot of mass
On the
production
surface
on
of
the
the earth.
surface. So let us try to take advantage of that as much as possible. So it's a lot of gain for me. If I would say I would invest in upcycling and recycling, it's good. Not in just that, in agriculture as well. In so many aspects. It's beautiful.
That's indeed beautiful. When you
Yeah.
look at that, and then I think, and someone can say an added advantage would be this also promotes innovation and creativity amongst youth especially, and that is an important aspect going forward and then growing as a nation, not just looking at the economic benefit, which is very important,
Very.
but then the environmental implication too
Yeah.
is as important as
Yeah.
we could consider that.
Yeah.
So those are important. Well, I want to come specific this time on West Aid as an organization here in the Gambia. What are some of those different successes that you have registered as far as circular economy is concerned within the Gambia?
Within the Gambia. Yeah, so currently we have a entrepreneur support for 30 women to make briquettes. These are eco-friendly charcoals. Because I feel like we cut a lot of trees. We've been talking about, forest degradation, but I'm like, everything is degrading in the Gambia. So we need to find ways. We are one of the top highest countries that produces groundnut. What are we doing with the
With the
groundnut
ground
shells?
itself.
We have lots of coconuts in our coastal areas. What are we doing with the coconut husk?
We just dumping it as a waste.
Yeah, are we doing that? So we need to take back the biodegradables and put it back to where it belongs, to nature. So if you have this entrepreneur support for these women, so this is creating sort of income for them and also skills, providing skills for them because they're now turning the granite shells and coconut husk into charcoal, which is beautiful.
Okay, ground itself and coconut
Yeah.
itself in the charcoal.
Yes, they're turning it. It's like a process, like carbonized. I don't even know how to go into science of it, but it's beautiful.
Okay,
So
when it is carbonized, it
Yeah.
means it was not going to have that negative effect on the
Exactly.
on the society, on the
Yes,
environment.
it's eco-friendly, it's smokeless, and it also lasts longer than normal charcoal. So WasteAid is investing in that with the help of our partners, funders CRWM. So we're partnering with Sandeli Foundation.
Okay.
Sandeli is doing the training for these women. So we have different other projects. We currently have one with SOS. That is the mural. We have a waste mural at the back of the dump site.
Okay.
So it is to illustrate or highlight the effects of open burning, street dumping, promoting the anti-littering acts, and also promote, a safe, sustainable environment. Because I feel like the kids in the back of the site, let's say SOS, will have long-term effects with the things that are happening in that environment. They are prone to have, asthma, lung disease, and things like that. So we need to promote more ways in uh, showcasing or sensitizing people. There needs to be awareness. So we thought of a waste mural, that is paintings. People will pass by, they will see the visuals, and they will understand. It doesn't need words, it doesn't need anything. So it's beautiful. And then we also had the waste use challenge. Now the waste use challenge, I would say, was one of the biggest hype WasteAid had, because we promoted businesses to come with their ideas in promoting a circular economy, that is by doing recycling. And then our top finalist was Aliu Sol from Plastic Recycling Gambia.
Okay.
So he turns plastics into regrinds. These are grinds that he turns into pavement slabs and also beams. And then we have Sena Bugay, owner of African Swag. So she turns plastic bubbles into bags.
Wow.
They are so beautiful. And then we have Suleiman from Green Initiative. He turns, coconut husks and granite shells into briquettes. Those are charcoals that we can use. So we actually tap the three things that are needed. You go for agriculture because these are food products or organic products that you turn into charcoal. We tap the plastic problems that we have. There's a lot of plastic being disposed of. Apparently, when I was reading, there was like 300 million tons of plastic made every year, and then 5% of that has been, it just turns out in the water, in the oceans.
Wow.
And how does it get there? It's us, from land, from
And
sewers.
that is having a huge negative impact
It
as far as
does.
the water is concerned and
It
the wildlife.
does. And the fish, there's a research recently made, and the fish has microplastics in them. And this is harmful to our health. Now, how do you explain to the layman that there is plastic, microplastic in these fish? It could be detrimental to your health without, causing panic. These are things that we need to think about. So, WasteAid is looking for ways and initiatives where we can turn these resources into something that would end in a, better sustainable way. We do different projects. So we're about to have a music project as well,
Okay.
video. So it will showcase, highlight the importance of circular economy. We just want to highlight the good, positive messages that we have.
It's important to pass on the message, and then those things are really important. And then I think these are modern ways of really making people to listen without actually speaking to them directly.
Yes, people love music.
Those are important stuff.
Yeah.
But what we will do, I am really liking the conversation. It's an interesting part, and it's important to talk about some of these things. But before we go further, I want us to take a quick break,
Okay.
and from there we'll continue the discussions and that.
Okay, thank you.
Hello and welcome. This is the Sustainability Track on African Renaissance TV, and I am your host, Mohamed Dibaji. The Sustainability Track builds on the TV's mission to provide useful information to our viewership. TST airs every Tuesday at 9 p.m. on ARTV network. Welcome back from that short commercial from wherever you are watching us from. This is the Sustainability Track with me, Mohamed Dibaji. And our topic of discussion here is the circular flow. And my guest in the house is Madam Georgia Saho from WasteAid. And you were talking about some of the activities that WasteAid has been involved in the Gambia, and then the importance of a circular economy, which is an important part that we talked about. But would I be right to say that a circular economy simply can be based on three principles: to eliminate waste and pollution, to regenerate nature, and then to distribute goods and products and services at their highest value,
Yeah,
generally?
yeah, absolutely. That sums up what a circular, economy is. As I was speaking to someone very smart, of course, he told me within the Gambia, it's like not just the Gambia actually, the world right now. Our waste is changing. Before you eat a mango, you eat it through the seed. You eat orange through
Through
the
the
seed.
seeds.
When you do that, it actually regenerates. It grows back into a tree or something. So that's good. But now with the plastics that we're having, that is the main waste that we have. It is not degrading. It is causing more,
It is
effects.
harmful to the
Yeah,
environment.
it is very harmful to the environment. So these are some of the things we need to understand. We talk about climate change, climate issues, and things like that. There's a lot that we as individuals can do to mitigate the problem, because it's beautiful and wonderful. Yeah, okay, let's regenerate, let's go and plant trees and things like that. But the next thing is someone will come and cut it. And when we keep on planting a lot, it takes years, about 20 to 30 years, before it actually captures more carbon.
Wow.
So we need to think more about the future. We need to think more about ways in, transitioning in a more green solution tech, I think. So not just reducing pollution in the environment, not just for generating income, but it's a way of life. We have to be, entwined with nature,
We have to be comfortable with
comfortable.
living
And yeah,
that
I mean,
way.
a healthy and a clean environment is very attractive, unlike to somewhere that is dirty and, scattered a mess. It's not beautiful. So we need to take care of our environments as we do ourselves, because we are one.
We are indeed one. The environment and ourselves, we are one. This is something that we cannot really separate ourselves from. We
No.
cannot have the environment on one end and then live our lives on another end.
Yeah.
That is not possible. Okay, so those are important remarks that we can have. When it comes to the Gambia again, West Aid, what are some of those other activities that you are involved in? That because I think this is an important avenue. Being involved in the circular economy, that's massive. But do we have any other activities that you are involved in?
So Waste Aid works a lot. We are doing a lot. We have different activities that we do. So the main ones that we focus is trying to get our network members to be more, active. We create different platforms for them. So like I said, to reiterate back, we do trainings, networking events, competitions, and giving them access to industrial experts in order to improve their organizations or their businesses. So we love to do competitions like the Waste to Use Challenge. The winner got £5,000. That is about $350,000.
Wow.
And the runner-ups also will be getting financial aid and support for their businesses. And we worked with GCCA Plus project with different collaborative members such as KMC, NEA, and different other organizations, where we worked with about 500 women. We did trainings with them on compost making. So it's like KMC or BAC was transporting the garbage waste from markets to the gardens. So we worked specifically with the Bakote and Bakau garden. So irrespective of that, we also thought of transitioning, having another training, which is why we're doing the entrepreneurial trainings with the Bakau Women's Garden, that is on the briquette making. So we are providing them the financial aid by giving them a machine, so it will make the work much more
Easy
easier.
for them.
Yeah, for them. So of course we love doing partnership with
Partnerships.
different organizations and CEOs, like let's say Sandeli Foundation, Fandema, Ombolo. We work with lots of entrepreneurs in our, in our network. So we're doing quite a lot, but whatever we do, we want to ascribe it to what our members need, what the Gambians need,
Okay.
because we can't just come and say, okay, we're doing this training. No, we need to ask them. We usually create a poll and say, okay, we're having this sort of training. What would you like? We give A, B, C option, and then they can vote what they want.
That is my definition of help. You don't help
Yes,
people based on what you think.
no,
It's
we
based on
don't.
what they want and what
What
they
they
need at
want.
the time.
Exactly. So we're finding ways into, listening. We want our members to be heard. We say to them, we hear you and we hear and know your struggles. So we're trying as much as possible to be, inclusive in activities and things like that. And everyone is always welcome to be part of the circular economy.
Everyone is indeed welcome. I would personally look to join the network myself.
Yes,
So
you should.
those are important things.
Yeah.
But that is it has come to my knowledge that there is a project called the Denakwa project,
Yeah.
a very important one.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
So, Dannako is a Mandingo term. It means togetherness, coming together as one community.
Okay.
So that is what it means. So the Dannako brings in different people. Like everyone is welcome. We have people in the food processing business. We have people in the agribusiness. We have people from CBOs. These are
Community-based
community-based
organizations.
organization, and then CSOs. We have so many people, and also environmental enthusiasts, because that is how I joined it. Because I, was working around something, and I started asking, what about waste? Is there an organization that does this? And waste, it was like the top when I Googled it. And I was like, yes, this is the
This is the one I'm
organization.
joining.
Yes, so
And-
that
and
is
here we are.
Denlaco. And here we are. That is Denlaco. We bring like-minded individuals to come together so that we can promote a circular economy.
That is an interesting part. When you look at, like you said, Denakwa, together, it's one of the only ways we can really move on as a people. Wherever we come together, whenever we collaborate, we partner, that is always, the agenda is always taken in the right direction. That is important. But I want to understand this, maybe this might be the penultimate question with respect to time. When you look at the circular economic members that you have, how is the selection process done? How do people become a member? How do organizations or individuals become a member as far as the circular economy is concerned?
Oh, it's quite simple. You just join. You just come. It's
Okay.
that simple. We
It's
don't.
like expressing your desire to join and then
Yeah,
you're here.
if you're interested in waste management issues, if you're interested in recycling, upcycling, or if you're just an enthusiast, or you're like, okay, maybe this is something I can check in, you can come. Everyone is welcome, especially with these trainings we have. I feel like more people can benefit from it, not even just those that do businesses. The last time we had one with Startup Incubator Gambia, a marketing training. So this business marketing training was like the whole entire talk on the circular economy group. Everyone was like, oh, it was so beautiful. It was so inspirational. And when you talk about marketing strategies, people would just think about, okay, ways to get my brand out there and money. But there's more. It is how you deal with your people, with your community. It is how you show, leadership skills. And these are things that, can help. And we're about to have another training on finance. So it's like, it just goes together. It tallies from marketing to now financing. So this is a platform that a lot of people can learn. Yeah, everyone is welcome to join the Circular Economy Network. Yeah.
Everyone is welcome to join. Those are really good remarks from Georgia. But before we end this episode, I wouldn't do justice without having a question on youth. Because it is from my observation that most of the circular economic flow members, the good percentage of it is composed of youth.
Yes.
So how relevant is that?
Very. It is quite relevant because we need the youths. They are the driving factor. And we have a high youth population in the Gambia. So
definitely.
if we are not targeting the youths, then who else? But still, we don't have an age limit at Waste 8. If you're 18 and above, then yes, you can join. So it is very important because these are the able-bodied and able-minded people that come, show their zealous ideas, they show creativity, they show enthusiasm, and we provide ways or a forum for them to express themselves, to help them with the finances, that is by creating competitions, to help them on trainings, that is by having different industrial experts to come and help these people, to provide them with networking events, because it's very important to meet different people and to expose your network. So these are some of the things that is important, because I felt that as a youth before, I didn't have the chance or the enclosure that I needed to grow, because I didn't have that network. And coming into the circular economy network, I've met so many people. And it's not just one training you have with someone. Example, there's a guy in the circular economy network who did the business marketing training, and he texted me and it was like, I'm so happy you guys did me so well. I was like, yeah, it's okay, no problem. But he was like, look, I'm still having trainings for the guy that did it for me. So he's still having more
More trainings.
trainings afterwards. Just show enthusiasm, show passion, and then you can go forward. We're here to give you that drive. We're the backseaters, you are the drivers. That is it.
I like that that model.
Yeah.
It's a model that should be looked up to as far as stakeholders are concerned.
Yeah.
And then in reality, if any organization or any person that really wants to anchor on the ideals of sustainability, putting youth at the forefront has to be one of the key factors that
It
you do.
has to
And
be,
this is
yeah.
something that West Aid is really doing. But here on the sustainability track, even though we like to have conversations that are sustainable as far as time is concerned, we try to be as conscious with time, and then
Yeah.
to accept that this is all that time has really permitted us. But before we run off this discussion, we'll let you have some final remarks to the viewership, and thereafter we can wrap it up.
Well, I think I've talked a
A
lot,
lot.
exhausted a lot. But I would just say, we don't have many organizations in the Gambia that focuses on waste management. We have a few, you can say Waste Aid, and then Wolo, and the likes of Sandeli, and maybe others that I haven't mentioned. So it is quite important, because the rate that we're going with our waste, we cannot even, fathom it. It's too high. So what are we doing? I remember we did so many trainings on waste segregation. And I'm like, this is beautiful. But then what happens after we segregate these waste? These are all things that we need to put account to, we need to think of. The Gambia might not be there yet, but I think it is beautiful that youths are coming up with, questions. You have to start with questions. What is this? Why do we do that? Why are we having this? So it is beautiful that Waste Aid is here, providing you that space where you can express yourself, show as much innovation and creativity that you can. And I hope that we, keep doing this more. And I hope that we have more people to join the Circular Economy Network. There are so many benefits you can get. And we're going good.
We are going good. We are
Yeah.
going good. Those are good remarks from Giorgio Saho. I'm from West Aid. This has been the Sustainability Track show coming your way from the African Renaissance TV with me, Mohamed Bibayi. As we look up to bringing more members of the circular economy here in the Gambia to talk about their engagements, their innovative ideas, new technologies that they are trying to involve in, how waste is turning the lives of people into economic benefits for them, how people are turning the concepts of product designs in the Gambia and abroad. As we look into that, until we come your way with more interesting episodes of the Sustainability Track, keep watching the African Renaissance TV as you subscribe into our channels to benefit from the very many programs that we bring out for you. This episode has been broadcasting for you from the Badala Park Hotel here in Kotu. Until we come your way again, bye-bye.